Hello, my name is Alex, and today I will be speaking about the modal verbs of probability. So I've been trying to do this. It's my third time of trying to make this webinar. So okay, I hope this time it works out. So the first one, right? So the first one will be will, right? So let's talk about will. So will and won't are used to predict a future action. The truth or certainty of what is asserted is more or less taken for granted. I'll see you later. His latest book will be out next month. Will and won't are also used to express what we believe or guess to be true about the present. They include an assumption based on our knowledge of people and things, their routines, character, and qualities. For example, if you get a letter from Canada, it'll be from my aunt Freda. Leave the meat in the oven, it won't be cooked yet. I wonder what Sarah is doing. Well, it's Monday morning, so I guess that right now she'll be taking the children to school. So one more time. So will and won't are used to predict a future action. The truth or certainty of what is asserted is more or less taken for granted. I'll see you later. His latest book will be out next month. Will and won't are also used to express what we believe or guess to be true about the present. They indicate an assumption based on our knowledge of people and things, their routines, character, and qualities. You've got a letter from Canada. It'll be from my aunt Freda. Leave the meat in the oven. It won't be cooked yet. And I wonder what Sarah's doing. Well, it's Monday morning, so I guess that right now she'll be taking the children to school. So this was the example of will use as a model of probability, right? But it is also used just to use. It's also used to make a future tense. For example, if you're speaking about future spontaneous actions, like you go to the kitchen, you open the fridge, there is no food, and you say, okay, I'll go buy some food. Or like the pure future, for example, tomorrow, next week, I will be 25, right? So this is not my intention, this is the fact. Something like this. So here I used will as just a particle that creates the future tense. Okay, so the next one. Must and can. So must is used to assert what we infer or conclude to be the most logical or rational interpretation of a situation. We don't have all the facts, so it is less certain than will. You say he walked across the Sahara Desert, he must be mad, he must be joking, I simply don't believe you. So must is used as to assert what we infer or conclude to be the most logical or rational interpretation of a situation. We do not have all the facts, so it is less certain than will. You say he walked across the Sahara Desert, he must be mad, you must be joking, I simply don't believe it. I don't believe you. So that was must. And the next one is can. So the negative of this use is can't. She can't have a 10-year-old daughter. She's only 21 herself. Whose coat is this? It can be Mary's. It's too small. So the negative of must in this case is can't. She can't have a 10-year-old daughter. She's only 21 herself. Whose coat is this? It can be Mary's. It's too small. So let's get back to must. And when we use must is also used, as you know, I think you know, for obligations, right? It's very, so there's have to and must, right? Used for obligation. The difference between must and have to is that must, it's more personal. For example, imagine you have kids, right? So you go into your kid's room and it's messy. You say, look, you must clean it right now. Whereas have to is more formal, and you would use it, for example, at work. It's safer to use it because it's more formal. Like, imagine you're a boss, right? And you have your employees. So you say, okay, guys, you have to finish this report. So that's the difference. Can't, on the other hand, is the negative form of can when it's used for ability. For example, I can swim, I'm able to swim, or I can't swim, right? So I cannot swim. Okay, so the next one. The next one is should, right? So should for probability. So should expresses what what may reasonably be expected to happen. Expectation means believing that things are or will be as we want them to be. This use of should has the idea of if everything has gone according to plan. Our guests should be here soon if they haven't get lost. This homework shouldn't take you too long. If you've understood what you have to do, we should be moving into our new house soon, as long as nothing goes wrong. Should in this use has the idea that we want this action to happen. It is not used to express negative or unpleasant ideas. For example, you should pass the exam. You worked really hard, so I believe in that. You should fail the exam is wrong in this use, so you haven't done any work at all. We would say, I don't think you'll pass the exam. Right, so again, one more time, should express it's what may reasonably be expected to happen. Expectation means believing that things are or will be as we want them to be. This use of should has the idea if everything has gone according to plan. Our guests should be here soon if they haven't get lost. This homework shouldn't take you so long if you understand what you have to do. We should be moving into our new house soon as long as nothing goes wrong. And should in this use has the idea that we want the action to happen. It is not used to express negative or unpleasant ideas. You should pass the exam. You've worked really hard. You should fail the exam. This is wrong. So you haven't done any work at all. So we would rather say, I don't think you'll pass the exam. Okay, so also should is used. The main use of should is when we use it when we talk about giving advice, right? So mild advice, for example, oh, look, I watched that movie is really good, so you should watch it. Where I look at somebody and that person looks sick, so I say, look, you look sick, you should see the doctor. So here, should is used as for giving advice, mild advice. Okay. So the next one is may and might. So may expresses the possibility that an event will happen or is happening. We may go to Greece this year. We haven't decided yet. So where is Anne? She may be having a bath. I don't know. Might is more tentative and slightly less certain than may. It may rain. Take your umbrella. Where's Peter? He might be upstairs. There's a light on. And yeah, learners of English often expresses concepts of future possibility with perhaps or maybe, will, and so avoid using may and might. However, this is widely used by native speakers, and you should try to use them. This is true, guys. So try to use them, right? Instead of saying maybe all the time or perhaps. So a lot of people use perhaps just to sound more sophisticated, kind of, but it's very formal, and I would rather use it when like writing. So when you want to express the idea of maybe, you should try to say like, yeah, I'm looking at the sky and it's gray, so I say, oh, it might rain soon. So things like that instead of maybe. Although you may use maybe, still works out pretty well. So may and might again express the possibility that if an event will happen or is happening. We may go to Greece this year. We haven't decided yet. Where is Anne? She might be having a bath. I don't know. Might is more tentative and slightly less certain than may. It might rain. Take your umbrella. Where's Peter? He might be upstairs. There's a light on. So learners of English often express this concept of future possibility with perhaps or maybe, will, and so avoid using may and might. However, these are widely used by native speakers, and you should try to use them, yeah, just like I said before. And so now let's talk about may and might. When do we use may? When we're not speaking about probability, we use may for permission, right? So when we ask someone for permission, for example, like, am I allowed to leave? Like, may I leave, please? May I leave? So here you use may as a modal verb of permission, whereas might is it's basically only used in this one instance, so it's only used for probability. Yeah, it might rain soon, I might leave soon, we might go to Greece, we haven't decided yet, and stuff. So this is how you use them. So the next one is could, right? So could has a similar meaning to might. In this case, you could be right, I'm not sure. The film could be worth seeing, it had a good review. Couldn't is not used to express a future possibility. The negative of could in this use is might not. You might not be right, that film might not be any good. Couldn't has a similar meaning to can't above, only slightly weaker. She couldn't have a 10-year-old daughter, she's only 21 herself. One more time. So, could has a similar meaning to might. You could be right, I'm not sure. That film could be worth seeing, it had a good review. Couldn't is not used to express a future possibility. The negative of could in this use is might not, so you may not be right. The film might not be any good. Couldn't has a similar meaning to can't above, only slightly weaker. She couldn't have a 10-year-old daughter, she's only 21 herself. Okay, so one more time, when we're not speaking about probability, we use could as the past form of can, which is used for to express ability, right? I can swim right now, or I could swim when I was 5 years old, or I can't swim right now, and I couldn't swim when I was 5 years old. This is basically the ability, right? And so the next one is, the next ones are related verbs, right? We may not only use the modal verbs, but we can use some related verbs and constructions. So here are some of them. For example, William is so brainy, he's bound to pass the exam. We're having a picnic tomorrow, so it's bound to rain. You're likely to find life very different when you live in China. Are you likely to come across Judith while you're in Oxford? One more time. William's so brainy, he's bound to pass the exam. We're having a picnic tomorrow, so it's bound to rain. You're likely to find life very different when you live in China. Are you likely to come across Judith while you're in Oxford? So here are some related verbs. Okay, guys, so let's just go through all of them again. So, will, the most certain. Then you have must, and it's not as certain as will. Will is the most certain than must, and the negative of must is can't. The next one is should, right? And the negative of should would be like, I don't think something will happen. Next one is may and might, right? The next one is could. And we also have some related verbs and some constructions for the use of modal verbs for probability. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure having this lesson with you. I hope to see you next Monday. So next Monday I will be speaking about the modal verbs of probability used in the past. So that's quite interesting and different from standard use of verbs. So please come and see my webinar. Okay, stay safe, have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. So see you, bye bye.